Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Karen, and I'm the founder and executive director of Empowering People with Invisible Chronic Illness Foundation, also known as the EPIC Foundation. I'm sitting here with my good friend and executive board member, Darryl Brown. Hi, Darryl.
Hey there. Good seeing you again, as I said earlier.
Yes, it is so good to see you. I'm so excited because, it's been a minute, right?
It has. It's been too long.
Way too long, way too
It
long,
has
and
been
we
too
need to
long.
have these conversations. But we'll catch up and talk about what's been going on and why it's been a while since we've done a live stream and catch our audience up and just basically have a conversation. That's what Dates with Daryl is all about.
All righty. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So, just some things to put out there. Thank you for those of you who are joining us. If you're joining us through YouTube, please make sure that you like and you share this video with others and also subscribe to our channel. That helps us to get the word across and help us empower other people with invisible chronic illness. And then also, if you want to make a comment, um, make sure that, if you haven't signed up for StreamYard to be able to show your name, that just so we know who's commenting on our material, that you put your name down. So that would be very helpful. Okay. So we got that out of the way. So I'm so excited to see you, Darryl. Today, um, we're going to catch everyone up on what's been going on with us. But part of that is talking about our gas tank. And so, what I want to say about that is a few days ago, I read this article that was really insightful. And the article was in regards to using the metaphor or analogy of a gas tank and when our gas tank is empty. Most people in the chronic illness community are familiar with the spoon theory. And so we've used the metaphor of spoons. Spoons are a metaphor for the amount of energy that is used per activity. So the idea is, we might use, like, let's just say, I'm just throwing this out there, like 4 spoons to take a shower, but that causes you to have to make decisions about whether you're going to take a shower or wash the dishes, go out to lunch, talk on the phone. You might exchange one thing for another because you have a limited amount of energy per day. But the article that I just read said that, sometimes when we use the spoon theory, it assumes that we can replace one thing with another, or that we have a certain amount of spoons every day that we might be able to predict. And in actuality, there are days when we use up energy and we're depleted, and it doesn't matter like what we do. We can rest, nap, sleep, do
Mhm.
whatever, and we're still not at our baseline, or what we would consider our baseline of energy. And I think it's hard for people to understand that there are times where, yeah, my energy ain't coming back today. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. Like, I need a minute. So we're going to talk some about that. As far as like using the gas tank and like being empty sometimes and like not, having the energy, or maybe not being able to complete task one day versus another. You can relate to that. Am I right, Darryl?
Absolutely. I was actually thinking about the analogy of the gas tank being empty. Once that gas tank is empty, what does the car do? It sits there. But I
Oh
think
yeah.
some of us have a tendency, even though the gas tank is empty, we're still trying to move. Well,
Yeah.
empty. It's empty. So that means you sit still and you collect yourself. Wait until you get some more gas instead of having
Right.
to always move. One time, my wife asked me a long time ago, she asked me, "So you got to do something every day?" But
Mm,
because it was ingrained in my head as a child, we didn't just lay around just doing
right.
nothing. As an adult, I just felt like I had to do something every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes too, I think having a chronic illness subconsciously, it could be that you're not your ability. Well, let me put it this way: when you run out of gas, mentally, you feel like you still have to keep it pushing, and
Mm-hmm.
you feel like if you don't keep it pushing, not only do you not have any gas, but it also means that your value has gone down a little bit because
There
you're
we
not
go.
able to do the things that you're usually able to do. So now, instead of just having an empty gas tank, if I could even go along with the analogy, now something wrong with the engine, something wrong with the transmission,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like, okay, I'm ready for the junkyard. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
so you got to keep yourself from doing that. I found out I tied a lot of my value to my job. And when
Mm.
my job left, it really messed me up. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even all the fact that I lost money, but it made me feel like I wasn't doing my part. But
Mm-hmm.
my wife never said a word. It was just how I felt. A lot of that is
Mm-hmm.
pride. But also too, I've always been known to work. And the day
Mm-hmm.
came when I wasn't able to work anymore. I was only 42. I'm like, wow. And I think on the inside, my value went way low. I think I
Yeah.
even went through a depression for a period of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I was just the other day coming down the stairs, and I realized, like we had talked earlier, I have a short fuse now.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was coming down the stairs, I said, I think the reason why you have a short fuse is because your gas tank is getting a little empty,
Mm.
and you get tired of filling up the gas tank,
Yeah.
and so I think it's just a matter of readjusting my mindset,
Mm-hmm.
like we talked about earlier about okay, again going with the analogy of the gas tank. I don't have any gas in me today, so it's okay. It's
Yeah.
all right not to do something today.
Yeah.
It's all right to, if you have someone else who's able to do it, let them do it until
Mm-hmm.
you're able to do it. Because the one thing I found is you don't want to do too much to where now you're broken down.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you put gas in it, you're still not going to do nothing because you're broken down now. So
Yeah.
we have to always be mindful of stuff like that in terms of, and one, we're not getting any younger. So that bounce
Mm-hmm.
back doesn't bounce back as quickly anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be mindful of those who are around you, that you don't put them in a situation where, um, because you're on empty, especially now, it's their fault or you
Yeah.
being mean to them. Like I said, I'm telling you, my fuse has been short,
Mm-hmm.
and it just hit me. It's like as I was telling my wife last night, I said I think it's just coming from having to fight so many
Yeah.
different battles all at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, because not only with people who have chronic illnesses, not only do you have to deal with your illness, but you got to deal with everyday life like everybody else.
That's right.
Gas,
Mhm.
kids, work,
Yep.
same stuff.
Yeah.
Except for your stuff, you have additional things.
Mm-hmm.
So every day is eventful. So I think it's just a matter of learning how to, excuse me, um, turn it off.
Yeah.
Just turn it off. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm learning how to do.
Yeah.
Yep, turn it off. Can't fix
Turn it
everything.
off. You cannot fix everything.
Nope.
That's such a powerful insight. I love because I didn't even think about this. I love how you speak to the fact that when your car runs out of gas, it sits there. You can't run on an empty gas tank.
You cannot.
You can't. And so it sits there until you fill it up with more gas. But what came to me when you said that is, what happens if you continue to try to drive your car? Because you always get a warning, right? You
Oh
get
yeah.
this warning, which is that light that comes on. And normally, and I think this happens in most people's car, when the gas tank light comes on, you know that you got a little bit of time, right? So I'm looking at that little window that says how many miles I got left before my car is going to get stuck in the middle of the street.
Yep.
But how many of us see the gas light, and some people call it faith, right? And like the
I know, right?
faith over fear, which let's talk about that, because sometimes people it can get a little funny with that stuff. And they go, well, I got the faith that my car's gonna keep running. But look, if your car says passes light, you got 20 miles, and then it's a wrap, and you like, oh no, I gotta keep going, what's gonna happen to that car?
You're gonna run out of gas.
You're gonna run out of gas, and that car is gonna stop. It doesn't care. It is not a respect of person, place, time. It does not care if you on your way to a meeting.
That's right.
You in the middle of the street, on the middle of the expressway, it will stop,
That's
abruptly
right.
stop.
That's right.
And so when I think about my body and I think about myself and how sometimes I'll try to run the car past the light, I know that I have warnings. I know that there are certain warnings that even say when I'm gonna go. I live with a condition called adrenal insufficiency as a result of treating Cushing's disease. And what that means is my body can go into shock, either from acute stress or cumulative stress. But I have warning signs. There are warnings. And I know there's things that I need to do to fill up the gas tank. But if I'm stubborn and I'm like, no, I'll be good, I'm all right, I'm in trouble. That
Yep.
car is stopping.
And usually we're trying to be okay, not for ourselves, but we're trying to be okay for everybody else.
Yep,
And they have a full tank.
they do. Yeah.
So again, you gotta be smart about it. When you talked about the whole faith thing, I used to live my life like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
and I found out I took faith out of context. And I, I
Yeah.
find I find people, this is the way I put it. I think sometimes people have taken faith out of context to the point where it's faith over foolishness.
Oh,
You put
yes.
yourself
Say
in a
that
very
again.
foolish, that's not faith. Like you just said, driving and you're about to run out of gas.
Yep.
God makes a way of of you getting to the gas station, but he don't fill tanks up. That's something that we do. And
Right.
so if you go past where your car says you should stop, well, that's the devil. No, that was you making a really bad decision.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so we have to be mindful because, again, I am 100% convinced that a lot of the things that I deal with now was based on foolish decisions from my past
Mm.
in terms of not listening because I had
Mm-hmm.
faith. I can
Mm.
remember as a teenager, my doctor said, don't jump off of the examining table. I remember
Mm.
thinking to myself, why not? Well, at 57, I can now tell you why that was a bad idea.
Mm.
He's all messed up,
Mm.
and so we got to be smart. We got to be smart. Nothing, and I don't want to make this biblical, but nothing in the Bible says you can't use your brain.
Right. Right. We have to use wisdom. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, you got to use wisdom. And so if your gas tank says you're low, then you sit and you wait to get some more gas. And then when you get some
Right.
more gas, you keep moving. And like I
Right.
said, the one thing that I have nothing to prove to anybody.
Right.
Because again, my father-in-law would always say, when you're sick by yourself.
Right.
You,
Right.
you're there all by yourself.
You the one dealing
And so,
with it, right?
yeah, anybody else got to deal with it, you got to deal with it. And the
Right.
worst thing to do is be in a situation where you could have avoided it. There's a whole lot of stuff I
Mm-hmm.
could have avoided. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
so again, for me, I'm going through a process of of again just turn the car off. Just turn it off. Just turn it
Right.
off. Even with a full tank of gas, turn it
That's
off.
right.
Park,
That's right.
park it. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's a
So
great point, Daryl, because I mean, you don't have to wait for your car to be on empty to do things to take care of you. You can
right.
have a full tank and still do what you need to do to take care of you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because sometimes I find, because you had a full tank of gas on Monday and you did a whole lot of driving, and then
Hmm.
on Tuesday you found out you actually had a hole in your gas tank, didn't know it. And now
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're on empty.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
you got to conserve some of this stuff, because you
Right.
just never know. As I've said to people before, every day seems to be different.
Hmm.
Yesterday, I was able to do some stuff that I'm not able to do today. Tomorrow, we'll see what I can do tomorrow. I try to give myself some space in terms of what it is I'm going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because I never know. I might not be able to do it tomorrow.
Right.
You just
Right.
you just never know. But like I said, at the end of the day, you got to be okay with that.
Hmm.
You got to be okay with that. As I told one of my doctors when he talked about me doing a knee replacement before, he was like, "No, you can't do a knee replacement." And now he's saying, "Well, I've seen you do too much." And my reply was, "My name is not Clark. My name is Clark Kent, and I reside in the phone booth. I no longer wear a
Hmm.
cape, And so, because everybody's so used to you pushing, everybody knows
Right.
about your circumstances, and they're like, it's so good that you're doing this and you're doing that. I'm so proud of you, and that's all playing in your head, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I got to do it. I got to do it. People are gonna be disappointed at me. Just be
Yeah.
disappointed at me all you want to.
Right.
I'm over
Right.
it. I'm over it. Because when you have not just a day, but days of
Yes.
having overdone it,
Yeah.
and now you got to recuperate.
Right.
And so, no, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, those voices stop residing in your mind. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I think we understand what it's like to get those positive affirmations and for people
Hmm.
to say, like, oh my goodness, we're so proud of you, but you can't reside in the space of always being other people's inspiration because at the end of the day, the aftermath is that they're inspired by you, but you can't live by that.
That's some pressure right there.
Tell me about it.
That's some pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I bleed just like you bleed. I cry like
Yeah.
you cry. I appreciate it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, you're not putting that on me. I used to let people do that to me. Y'all do that no
Yes.
more.
Right. Yeah.
You can't. No, I can't. I can't do that today.
Right.
No.
Right. A
Like
little engine that
you're
could.
so inspiring. Not
Yeah.
today, I'm not. I'm not
Not
today.
today. Not
No,
today. And that's
no.
okay. And those of us with faith, I think, we really need to share this message because those of us with faith get it so confused. It's not foolishness over fear. We cannot be foolish in our faith. It's, you know, faith can be, the hope in the unseen, but we have to use wisdom. And so when people are putting pressure on us to constantly perform, no, 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 sir. No, ma'am. Not today. Not today. All right, Daryl, you froze on me here. Um, Maybe refreshing it will work. But While you are frozen, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to read a comment. Thank you for this comment. It's from a Facebook user. You're back. I'm going
Yeah,
to read a
that was
here.
me. I was checking. I've been having a problem with my internet. Xfinity they got to do better.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I see clients, I be freezing up all through the session. I'm like, no, come on now, Xfinity. You gonna have to show up now.
Yeah, they got to do better than this.
Oh my goodness. So let's read this comment. It says, Karen, you look incredible. Thank you so much. This is something that so few people understand. Thanks for talking real. Thank you for your comment. Um, if you want to remain anonymous, feel free to remain anonymous. However, if you want us to know who you are, please comment by sharing your name with us because I'm so grateful for your feedback. Um, but Darryl, I was just telling you how good you look too, because you always looking good. But let me tell you, looks can be deceiving at times. Not to say that you know anything negative, but sometimes people will look at us and be like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you." And we've been
yeah,
going through it. Through it.
yeah.
It's
I'm
been
like,
how long has it been since we even did a live?
it's been a while. It's been a
Months.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Like I said, I let all that go. I really
Yeah.
did. I'm like trying to live up to everybody's expectations, and
Yeah.
like you said, the pressure of everybody seeing you and patting you on the back, and
Yeah.
it's like when I stopped working, I was only
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be on temporary disability. My doctor changed it to permanent, and actually,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, some years later now, I'm glad she did. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was like, no, because I want to keep on doing what I need to do. And she said to me, "You've proved your point." And I
Mm.
said, "What point is that? That I want to eat and have somewhere to live? I mean, you're patting me
Right.
on the back because I get up and go to work every day? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?"
Yeah.
I mean, for
Yeah.
me, the alternative wasn't, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I could have come out of high school and never gotten a job. I
Mm-hmm.
could have done that if I chose to. I chose not to. But I don't
Right.
necessarily think I should be patted on the back because I get up and go to work every day. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do that, especially in the house I grew up in. So, you know, uh,
Yeah.
but you don't look good. See your husband. He should take you out tonight, and he should get a sign.
Look, you
Get
gonna
a
have to
sign.
send
This
a
my boo.
message.
This my boo right here.
You gonna have to send Craig a message like, look, because I heard that. Yeah, he gonna have to hear that. He gonna have to hear that.
That's funny.
Look, I'm trying to get a date out of this. Come on now. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I pray that after next week I can get back to dating because I'm like, look, I'm so glad my wife has patience with me because I'm
Look.
like, this foolishness right here. You
Yeah.
talking about favor? This has been some foolishness lately.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that having good spouses, and I got one because she puts up with stuff that I'm like, you still here? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Yeah. But that's love, and that's
Yeah.
unconditional love. That
Yes.
is unconditional love. And I love my sister Sonia. I'm telling you, I love her.
And I can't wait to meet your husband because he's holding it down too. So, you know,
Yeah.
I just appreciate, you know, I appreciate them both,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
like I said, some days I'm like, how in the world you sure you still want to be married to me?
Look, they hold us down, right? They sure enough hold us down.
Couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't do
Yeah.
it by myself. And again, you like you said, you just never know where help comes from. And
Right.
so, but again, that even goes back to uh, having faith
Mm-hmm.
that it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have this house quick story. There was a lady who lived here. She had 5 kids altogether, from understanding, but 2 of the boys had physical issues, physical and
Mm,
mental issues.
mm,
And there was a guy who used to come over here and help with the house,
mhm,
right? My wife went to Notre Dame. She had a friend of hers who was already there. They become
mhm,
friends, right? And through meeting this other individual, she meets a third person, a second person, another female, that and they all go to school together,
mhm,
right? And this is in Indiana. Well, years later, the the one friend that she met in college marries a guy. What are the chances that the guy that she marries is the same guy that used to come over here and help with this house?
wow.
Same guy.
Oh, yeah.
And now he and I are friends. And I
Wow.
always tease him. I said, because when I moved here, he had the grass looking so pretty, and I messed it up. And I always
Oh,
see it, and this was my second time meeting him, um, about a month ago. But he
mhm,
says he's coming over to help get the grass together.
mm,
What's the chances of that?
yeah,
You know, when
yeah,
you need help with this, you need help with that, and the Lord just places people like that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And
yeah,
so it's you just,
yeah,
like I said, you just can't overreact to stuff, and just kind of take it easy. And like I
yeah,
said, when your gas tank is empty, it happened to me. What did I do? Pick the phone up, called AAA. You sat there and waited until they came, and
mhm,
that's how life is.
yeah,
That's how life can be.
yeah,
If you conduct yourself the proper way, and you have the right kind of people around, life always finds a way.
mhm,
Always finds a way. And so you just gotta be patient with it. Like I said,
yeah.
just sit there with no gas and chill.
Chill, chill.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. You can know that it's gonna be all right
yeah,
and still chill, still get the rest that you need, still take care of yourself for
yeah,
sure. I'm gonna
yeah.
show another comment here. It's good to see you, Lynn. She said, "Thank you for this. It's nice to see you guys again. It's so nice to
That's
see you. Thank you for
yes,
joining us today. In the middle of a day, so nice to have people that, really care to, listen to these conversations and share these
hmm,
conversations with others because it helps to know that you're not alone.
yeah. And that's the thing, is not knowing that you can, just knowing you have somebody you can talk to who's in the
Yeah,
same situation. You guys can kind of keep each other motivated. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
Because sometimes you have people who they really mean well, but have
Hmm.
no clue. You have no clue.
Yeah, they just don't get it. They don't get
Mm-mm,
it. And you and
mm-mm.
I are constantly motivating each other. I mean, if we haven't heard from each other in a while, we'd be like, I can always count on you to check on me, be like,
Are you on my
how's
mind all the time?
it
But I
yeah.
was telling a friend of mine just yesterday. I said, I have a friend of mine now. She has an amazing story, because everybody's always talking about my story. And I said, no, I know somebody else. She has such an amazing story. And out of all of her stuff, she comes up with this foundation. See, I haven't done anything. And I've been doing this for 57 years, living like this foolishness. See, that's what I call it. I don't call it spina bifida and all of that. I just put it all in one box and call it
Hmm.
foolishness. But you have, and so and you have an amazing story. We got to get writing. We got to get back to
Yeah, that's our project that we need to get on. We need to get on.
yes,
It will be out there for those of you watching. You are witness. We will have our book out there.
yes, yeah.
Yes,
You see,
absolutely.
you're my AAA for that.
Yeah,
Putting gas in the gas tank, yeah, because I just can't seem to put any gas, literary gas, in my tank.
yeah,
so
yeah.
so
No, I
I
hear
need
you.
didn't understand that.
My watch. Lord have mercy. Stuff is
Because life
listening.
happens. Life does. Oh yeah, it's always listening. Google is
Yeah.
always listening. Sometimes I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there and
I'm
I'm like,
like,
wait a
what?
minute, what's happening to me right now? Uh, yeah, but hello. Talk
Wow,
about an
from the
incredible
UK.
story. Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining us for the UK and talk about an inspiring story. This woman right here. Yeah. We've never met in person, but oh man, some of these people that I've met on here are like family. They're like family because you
Wow.
know each other so well. You get to know people. A fellow Cushing survivor right here, and you look amazing. And I know that this has not been easy, not been an easy journey, but thank you for joining us. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
That is. All from the UK. Wow. You just never know. You never know who you're touching.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
it's good. I never really, until you, I have to admit, um, I just felt like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I just, like I said, get up and going to work every day. Everybody like, you're just so amazing. I'm like, no, I like to shop and do stuff, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah.
and so I just never saw my story as being extra. You know what I mean? I just did
Mhm.
what I had to do. But you contacting me, it really made a difference. It really did. It really did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you have an incredible story, and currently, you can relate to our viewers in that, and that's why there's such a great sense of community when you live with multiple things, and people will be like, nah, that can't be right. Look, if you didn't live it, you wouldn't believe it to be true, right? I mean, look.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
To this day, I keep saying the same thing.
yeah,
I'm like, Lord, we should be talking about legs. We shouldn't be talking about hearing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm
yeah,
losing my hearing at the same time with
yeah,
all this other stupid stuff I gotta deal with. But
yeah,
again, it's life. It's life.
yeah,
Stuff happens. And I
mhm,
am a firm believer that none of this, if it happens, it's allowed to happen. And not only is it allowed to happen, you're ready for it. People give up because they choose to. You don't have to give up. And I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna do it. I just can't.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, to that point, oftentimes I'll hear people not only in the chronic illness community, but through my work as a clinical psychologist, people will often say, I had no other choice. And what I'll say is, no, 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 that's not true. Because when
Mm-mm.
you say, I had no other choice, it's almost like you're disempowering yourself, or you're slighting or minimizing how incredible it is that you continue to fight. Because
Yes.
that is incredible.
Yes.
And that is a conscious, empowered choice. It really
Yes.
is. Now, I'm not saying that, okay, let's not get that mixed up with this idea that, oh, if it happened to you, it's something that you did. No, no, no. I'm not saying that, because
No.
stuff happens,
No.
right? Yeah, stuff
Yeah.
happens. But making the empowered, conscious choice to fight, that is incredible. And you know what, and fighting doesn't always mean moving. That's the other thing
No, it
we've talked
doesn't.
about in this live. We don't always have to be in movement. I have a picture on my wall that I've posted on my social media, and it says be still. And I have it on my wall where I can see it, because sometimes I have to remind myself to just be still.
Yeah.
And I had a client once who said doing nothing is doing something. And I'm like, whoa.
Yep. To me, dealing with a physical handicap and all this other kind of stuff is hard. It is.
Yeah.
But to me, what's even harder is the mental part of it.
Yeah.
Keeping yourself together. To me,
Yeah.
it's more mental than it is physical.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, you got choices.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I remind myself, you're not the only one going through this. Somebody else is going through the same thing you're going through, and they are killing it. And so you just gotta mentally keep, because I'm telling you, it's like a roller coaster almost.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? It is.
It
Because
is.
some days I'm like, I done had enough of this.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah. And then some
Yeah.
days it's like, I'm good. And then you
Yeah.
can next day you can go right back to I've had
That's right.
enough.
That's
You
right.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta find somewhere in the middle and keep yourself up. You can't have, as I found, you can't have too many high highs and too many low lows. You gotta find
Mhm.
somewhere in between.
There's a
And
balance.
so yeah, you gotta have a balance. You gotta have a balance.
Mhm.
You know, because when I see people and hear people complain and complain and complain, I'm like, every day? Come on now. You got to tell. I cannot believe that every day is just that horrible. And so but it's choice. It's a choice. The sun, even though, like in the UK, she said good evening. So I assume it's dark there or getting
Mhm.
dark. The sun's still shining somewhere.
Mhm.
It's still shining somewhere. And so you just got to be able to look through the clouds and find the sun.
Right. Right.
And it can be very, 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 very difficult. Very
Yeah.
difficult. I have a friend of mine right now going through some issues, and he has a very good sense of humor, and he's making jokes about it. And I'm like, keep that sense of humor, because if you don't, you'll start thinking about the negative stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so you
Yeah.
got you gotta find that place. You gotta
Yeah.
find that place.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
important.
And and I'm glad we're having this conversation. And this is why, the foundation itself, the Epic Foundation, that you're a board member on. Thank you so much. Because
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, you just you have no idea how much that means to me. But the foundation focuses on the psychological process of living with invisible chronic illness or chronic illnesses. And you know, it focuses on the mental health journey, because this is something that we often do not talk about.
Mm,
One of the things that I like to stress is, sometimes you do have a stretch that just seems impossible. Like I'm telling you, I think both of us just went through some of those stretches where it's like thing after thing after thing after thing.
yep.
And like once you're relieved of one thing, it's like,
Here comes
wait a
something
minute,
else.
something else just came up. This is not possible. But and so it seems like in and of your own strength, of course, you're like, I can't do this. But even if the choice is to seek support, right? Because that's an empowered conscious choice as well, is being
Yeah.
able to say, look, I just can't do this. What am I going to do though to empower myself? That means I'm gonna reach out to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, that show that used to come on and you used to be able to
Mm,
phone a friend. Like, am I gonna phone a friend? Am I gonna email somebody? Am I gonna reach out to the Epic Foundation? Am I gonna, like Dr. Karen and Daryl, they have their emails and numbers out there. They're reachable. Am I going to take a chance and reach out to someone who cares, who's a listening ear? That is an empowered conscious choice.
it
So
is.
no, it's not you're doing that, you're in a bad place, but making the empowered conscious choice to do whatever you need to do to fill up that tank,
Yep.
that's where it's at.
And even if it is, well, some people have situations where they have caused some stuff, because I caused some of this stuff myself
Mhm.
by not following the doctor's directions. because I had faith. How about that? And so, but you still can rebound from that stuff, even
Yes,
if you
you
did
can.
do it. Even if you
Yeah.
did do it, forgive yourself and move on.
Yep.
You did some stuff that just shouldn't have done that. There's a whole lot of stuff I think about. I was told not to do, and I did anyway, based
Yeah.
on bad information.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dang, I wish I hadn't done that. But you did
Yeah.
it. Move on.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You
got
know.
to forgive yourself. Yes.
Yep. Yep. You do. You
Yeah.
gotta forgive yourself. You gotta forgive others. You gotta. Yeah, you do. You.
Yeah.
It's just. It is what it is.
Right.
It is what it
Right.
is.
It is. It
So
is.
now that it is what it is, what am I gonna do about it? And
Right.
some stuff
Right.
you just kind of got to just roll with it. You just
Yeah.
got to roll with it. Some
Yeah.
stuff, as you know, they don't have cures for spina bifida.
Mm-hmm.
So so
Mm-hmm.
since they don't have a cure for it, what do I do now?
Right.
So it's like when I found out why I was having vertigo with this Meniere's. And I told my wife, I said, well, now that I have a name to put to it,
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it never, because sometimes we talk about, even going back to the faith thing, you pray it leaves. Well, what do you do if it doesn't leave? And that's not being negative.
Right.
What do you do if it doesn't
Right.
leave? So
Right.
now you have to have a whole new mindset, because if you don't, you'll be angry all the time, either
Yeah.
angry or sad, and life's too
Yeah.
short. So
Absolutely.
you got it. That's what I said to me. Yeah, walking funny. I going outside and being watched all the time because I walk funny. People stare. Getting over that wasn't physical. That was mental. I don't even
Yeah.
pay attention half the time anymore. And just dealing with some of the stuff I have to deal with. Again, consciously understanding you now have your gas tank is empty.
Right.
You have to mentally deal with that.
Right.
And until you get you some more gas, you got to keep yourself together mentally.
Right.
Because next
Yeah.
thing you know, I'll be calling you because I'm all messed up on the inside now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't be messed up on the inside and the outside. I got too much other stuff going on. So,
That's too much. Too much.
so I'm just saying. I mean, we all messed up to a point. My wife probably think I need to call you, but because I'm crazy. But you just have to. You just have to. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember somebody said to me a long time ago, "You just joke around too much."
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I want to have a real conversation and say, "Well, do this every day, and see how happy you'll be."
Right.
So, yeah. I try to find humor in most things,
Yeah.
because if I don't, I'm gonna be sitting around here crying all day, and we did
Right.
that all, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
a friend of mine said to me, we're the same age, we grew up together, and she said we're in the fourth quarter of our lives. I was like, wow, I thought about that for a minute. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
But we don't have time to just be moping around.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta take advantage of what it is we have. And if you gotta ride around half the time with a half tank full, then that's what you gotta do. I can't tell you when last time my tank was full.
That's a good point, right? Like,
I can't tell you last time it was full. I'm usually, if I'm at a half, I'm good.
look, how about when you think your gas tank is full and then you turn around and be like, didn't I just fill up the gas tank? Like,
I can't tell you last time I was full. Okay, I'm used to riding on 1/4. Okay?
Look, that gas be
I'm
running
always
out.
looking for a gas station. I'm constantly looking for a gas station. Shoot, we coming to a gas station yet?
Your house, your neck be on the swivel. Like,
Yes,
okay, where's the gas station at? 'Cause
yes. I'm
feel
always
like,
looking for a gas station. Yes.
yes. I
So
can definitely
yeah,
relate. Yeah,
I know
our
you
friend here
can.
can relate too. She said sometimes if I don't laugh, I might cry. Let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah. Thinking about everything that's going on and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah, it's
and
a
then you
lot.
go to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor in so long where I got good news. I'm always hearing
Yeah,
bad news, you know,
yeah,
and
it's a lot.
so yeah. So it's like listening to some people, you'd be ready to jump off a bridge,
That's
and
right.
but you got to learn to get to the edge and not jump off, but build another bridge.
Yeah,
And that's what we continue to do. We're builders. We keep building
yeah,
bridges
yeah,
to
yeah,
get to
for
the
sure,
next place. And
for
so,
sure.
because I'm not doing it. I'm giving up. That's not even in the vocabulary. I'm not doing it. I might want to some days, but I'm like, okay, so how do I get past this? Because I'm not giving up. I always
Yeah.
tease my wife and tell her, well, I can't give up because she'll be wondering, she'll be digging me up, telling me where the money at.
No, where the
She'll
money?
be at that, she'll be at that cemetery that night with a shovel. Where the money go? Where the money at? So
It's
no,
funny.
no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like life. I do. It's rough.
Yeah,
It is a lot of times in my mind unfair. Because
yeah,
I always I used to ask the question,
yeah,
what did I do to get in this
mhm,
situation? That was
yeah,
back, you blame yourself for stuff.
yeah,
I'm like, I got three other brothers and sisters. Ain't nothing right. They barely catch a cold.
yeah,
But I'm like, but all
mhm,
as a friend of mine said, I'm one gigantic catcher's mitt. If it's out there, I'm gonna catch it. I'm so glad I
mm,
didn't get COVID. I'm like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, and I'm still not trying to get it. Certain stuff, I'm
yeah.
not doing.
That's tough. That's tough. Well, we had COVID over here, and you
Yeah,
talk about feeling like life is unfair because we did everything under the sun, and that's why when people question your faith, you be like, "Hold up, now. Look, it's
yeah,
not a lack of
that's
faith
foolish.
because
Yeah,
look, we had the mask on, we had all the stuff. We was in we were in the hazmat suits. We were,
yeah,
we were isolated, quarantining, all kinds of things,
and got it
and
anyway.
we got it anyway. And
Yep.
it was rough. I know that some people like, oh, it's a minor cold. No, when you live with certain underlying conditions,
Yes.
that stuff hit us like a ton of bricks. And my husband, who like never gets sick, I saw COVID just take him completely down, and I was like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? We got through it, thank God, but life can be rough sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just again, that's just how it is.
Right?
That's just how it is. That's just how it is. And so, but again, I believe the Lord equipped everybody with what it is we need.
Yeah.
And so it is when these situations come that we cultivate what it is that we have. Because if nothing
Mhm.
ever happened, you wouldn't know you had it. You
Right.
wouldn't be able to say, like when we lost our jobs, you could not have told me 30 years ago that I was going to lose my job and actually survive.
Mhm.
I wouldn't believe you,
Yeah.
but I did.
Yeah. But you
I did.
did. You did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough. I think I
Yeah.
cried more during that time than any other time. But
Yeah.
but we did.
Yeah.
We did. We did. And we're doing well.
Yes.
And so but it wasn't until you get the sign on your front door saying, well, because you didn't pay your property taxes, we're coming to get your house. And then
Mhm.
you find out what you're made out of.
Yeah.
You find
Yeah.
out how resilient you can be,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, because you'd be like, after it's all over with, you think to yourself, Hey, I went through that.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to experience, you yourself have been able to experience stuff that killed other people, literally killed them.
Yeah.
And you're still here, looking like you haven't been through what you've been through. Because right now you look like you, what's that saying? I don't look like what I've been through. You don't look like what you've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
COVID and all the other stuff on top of that and all the other things. You don't look like it. And so, yes, you're a
Mm-hmm.
testament of what faith really looks like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Mm.
you can look a little raggedy, but you're still making it.
Right, but you still getting through.
Yeah,
You
still
still
pushing.
getting through. Yep.
Yep. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I say to
Absolutely.
myself, I will not let this get me today.
Mm-hmm.
Not today. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Today ain't
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Can you believe that we almost been talking for an hour? That time just flies, doesn't it?
look, if it's one thing that my wife will tell you, that boy know he can talk. Uh, but
Put the two
I
of us
like,
together.
I like talking about stuff like this. See
Yes,
that you
absolutely.
got me out of my comfort zone because I was very uncomfortable talking about
Yeah.
this or
Yeah.
anything, especially online. I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
ain't doing that. So you've helped me with that. So and now I actually feel very comfortable.
Yes.
I do.
Yes. I
And
love that.
the crazy thing is, I hope people see this
Yeah.
so it can be
Yeah.
helpful to them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, how it can be
Yeah.
helpful, and you never know. Somebody might contact us who they didn't need it, but knows somebody else who does need it.
Right. That's so
You just never
true.
know. We're not going through
Absolutely.
this for nothing.
Right.
We're just
Absolutely.
we're two big billboards.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we are.
Absolutely.
I used to hide it, but I find myself talking about my experiences now more than I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
More than I ever have. Quick story. My brother has a Movado watch. I love Movados. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why, but I got a thing for watches. But I can remember going to Florida, going to one of those swap meets where you buy stuff at a discount, and I bought a fake Movado years and years and years ago. Now this is before I lost my job, way before. But I
Mm-hmm.
never in my mind thought I would ever be where I am now.
Yeah.
House, wife, all that kind of stuff. And then when we
Yeah.
lost our job, I'm like, I almost went back to that same place, not thinking we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
I bought a old, a used, not used. It was new, but it wasn't real. And the opportunity presented itself to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the lady who sold it to me at the store the whole story, but I never thought I'd ever be able to buy one. I had a fake one, and that was it. And I didn't never look anywhere past that. And now I have three. I didn't pay.
Wow.
I didn't pay for a price. I get understand that, but no, we don't do full price anymore. That's
Yeah.
something
No, I hear you.
don't negotiate some stuff. Okay,
Right. Right.
yeah, we negotiating, but I mean, and it sounds simple, but you have people who feel like I'll never get past this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's little small little challenges or successes that we have that build up to this one. And it's like, if I could do this little bit, and then you do that. If I could do this
Yeah.
little bit and then you do that. And it just starts blooming and it gets really, really big.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got a
Yes.
bunch of little things that you do, but you put them all together, and you're like, wow, I was
Yeah.
able to do that. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it changes your mindset.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
it does. It does. And and you are able to do those little things that add up to big things when you do listen to your body, when you do respect those boundaries, when you do listen to
Yes.
when you need more gas in your gas tank. And when you
Yes.
understand that faith does not mean ignoring
No, it does not.
wisdom.
People think
It
it means it means that you can ignore it, that it doesn't exist.
right,
But if
right.
you look at, if again, that being all spiritual and stuff, but the Bible says now faith. That now means that something happened before the faith came,
Mm,
right?
wow.
And if
Yeah.
you read,
Yeah.
something did happen before that.
Yeah.
But because of that one word now faith is.
Now
Because
faith
it
is.
wasn't looking too faithful before.
Right.
But now
Right.
something happened.
Right.
And so all of that stuff that we've been through, that we didn't think we could get through it. Now faith says, because we did, we got through all that stuff. So my question is, if we were able to do all of that stuff, why can't we do the stuff that we need to do tomorrow? Why
Right.
can't we put more gas in our car? Because
Right.
some people, side of the road, they walk away from the car.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Nope. Put some more gas in there.
Put some more gas in that gas tank. We're going to end with this comment. Thank you for the when your tank is empty subject. Very useful and empowering. Hope to listen to you guys again soon. We will be back. Thank you, Liv.
Yes.
Thank you, Deanna. Thank you. I don't know who the
Everybody.
other user is that left the comment. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you, Daryl, for having this
Thank
conversation and
you.
this date with me, this date with Daryl, dates with
Thank
Daryl.
you. Look, I'm gonna try and be on time next time, because the funny part is I'm on a quarter of a tank. So
Yes. Let
I'm
me
like, let me
tell
hurry
you.
up. Let me hurry up.
Look, let me tell you, it took all my gas to put on my hair, my makeup, get ready for this live. So let me tell you, fill up that tank when you need to fill up that tank.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing, everyone. And listen, Epic membership is free. I want to stress that. We provide membership to people for absolutely free. You can go on our website, www.epictogether.org, EPICtogether.org, because together we are epic. And the people who are members, we are reintroducing our quarterly newsletter. It's coming out the first week in April. You do not want to not have this newsletter, because there are articles in there that will help you to fill up that gas tank. There's an article in there called the Good News article that is written by my colleague and good friend, Dr. Kim Curley. Dr. Kim Curley is a licensed clinical psychologist, and so she writes the good news, because we want to hear some good news, right?
Yes.
So she writes about good news, and they are like practical things that you can do anywhere from communication to self-care to even why naps. Come on now, naps are effective parts of our day.
Yes, ma'am. I take the tease me all you want to. I'm taking a nap.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you join the membership at www.epictogether.org, you will get the newsletter this time around. And with that being said, Daryl,
Look,
thank
right
you so
before you get
much.
off, you see this? Wait a minute.
Yes,
You see that? You see it says
yes,
email?
yes,
I need you to help me get my email stuff together.
yes,
I have to
yes,
write it
yes.
down. I have to remind you. I need help with my Google stuff, all that. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
doing it.
We gonna get it together. We gonna get it together, most
All
definitely,
right.
because we want the people to be able to reach you for sure. And yeah, so we will talk very soon. let's
All
make
righty.
sure that we get our dates with Daryl back on and back on track, even if it's next month sometime. And we will be back. We will
sure
be
will.
back.
Look forward
We
to it.
sure will. Yeah. And remember, everyone, together we are epic. Thank you
Yes.
for joining us again.
All
We will
righty.
see you very soon.
All
Bye.
righty. Bye, everybody.